Hello everyone, good evening. As always, it is very good to see you. Here's the question this evening. Should a chief minister run a state from inside jail? Should a minister run his ministry from behind bars? Should a prime minister govern the country from behind prison? Well, the only logical answer to that question is a big no. Constitutional morality demands you step down till you get a clean chit. But ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't always happen in our messy and deeply divided democracy. So Arvind Kejriwal in jail for an alleged liquor scam ruled Delhi for 5 months as chief minister from behind bars. In Tamil Nadu, for 471 days, Senthil Balaji from the DMK remained a minister despite being behind bars till the Supreme Court of India said enough is enough. Choose between your freedom or your kursi. He chose his freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, it was these two cases that the government says prompted them to introduce a constitutional amendment today that, if passed, will ensure that no ministers or states or ministries are run from behind bars. The proposed law tabled by the Home Minister today is a tough one. Any minister, starting from the Prime Minister down to the Chief Minister, will automatically be eased out of office if they are jailed for 30 days and above. Essentially, on day 31, they will be given the pink slip. It does not matter if they are convicted or not, they will simply be sacked. This applies, ladies and gentlemen, to anyone who has committed a crime that mandates a punishment of 5 years and above. Now, while the government is calling this a principled stand to restore constitutional morality in public life, the opposition is calling it an attempt to mutilate democracy. They say this is nothing more than a CM Hatao bill designed to destabilize opposition ruled states. Listen in.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं रिकॉर्ड क्लियर करना चाहता हूं। मुझ पर झूठे आरोप लगाए तब अरेस्ट होने के पहले मैंने नैतिकता के मूल्यों का हवाला देकर इस्तीफा भी दिया और जब तक मैं कोर्ट से निर्देश नहीं हुआ, कोई संविधान पद मैंने स्वीकार नहीं किया। ये क्या सिखाते हैं नैतिकता में? मैं तो इस्तीफा देकर गया था और मैं तो चाहता हूं कि ये नैतिकता के मूल्य बढ़े। हम ऐसे निर्लज्ज नहीं हो सकते कि हम पर आरोप लगे और हम संवैधानिक पद पर रहें। अरेस्ट के पहले मैंने इस्तीफा दिया है।
We are going back to medieval times when the king could just remove anybody at will. There's no concept of what an elected person is. He doesn't like your face, so he tells ED, put a case, and then democratically elected person is wiped out within 30 days.
This government is hell-bent on creating a police state. This will be a death knell and leash on elected government, sir. Indian constitution is being amended to turn this country into a police state.
जब तानाशाह लोग घबराते हैं लोकतंत्र में, दुनिया के तानाशाहों को पता कर लो आप, उन्होंने अपनी कुर्सी, अपना रुतबा बचाने के लिए इस तरह के फैसले लिए।
I have not studied them carefully enough. On the face of it, it's very difficult to see any problem with it, but I don't know. Obviously, if anyone does something wrong, they should not be a minister anywhere. Those are the three bills you're talking about. But I don't know if there's any other motive. I've not studied it in more detail than that.
As always, Shashi Tharoor there, differing with what the Congress's stand is. Gestapo move by Hitler, unconstitutional, stifling the judiciary, mutilating democracy. The opposition backlash, ladies and gentlemen, has been furious. In words and in actions. The Lok Sabha today became a rowdy college canteen as the bill was torn and flung in the air. Opposition and ruling MPs accused each other of dhakka mukki as well. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, for the government, they don't, which is the government doesn't have the two-third majority to push through a constitutional amendment. So the bill that has been tabled today has been sent to the JPC. But the opposition continues to fume. Why? Why? Caesar's wife has to be above suspicion. What is the problem in stepping down from the throne if a court of law has sent you to jail? The law does say that you will be reinstated once you are out on bail? Or does the opposition actually have a point when they say that the ED and the CBI can easily be unleashed by the government to send opposition chief ministers to jail and launch Operation Lotus in their states? They tried it in Jharkhand. My guest this evening, Sanju Verma, is national spokesperson of the BJP. Sanju, thank you very much. Salman Soos, spokesperson of the Congress Party, thank you very much. Advocate Anmol Panwar, national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Sanjay Hegde is a senior advocate joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Soos, can I ask you what exactly is the problem with the proposed bill? If it's about constitutional morality, no chief minister who is behind bars should be ruling a state or a union territory from behind bars. Similarly for a prime minister, similarly for any minister. Chhod dijiye kursi, chhod dijiye gaddi.
Shreya, the way you frame the debate, it would seem like, yeah, it sounds like such an excellent idea that anybody who's, in jail for more than 30 days should not be governing the country, governing a state. Sounds very nice. Oh, this applies to the prime minister. This applies to everybody. What's the problem there? There are lots and lots of problems in this particular case. Let's just start with the big ones. One is that you're taking the presumption of innocence out of Indian jurisprudence, which I think is totally unacceptable to any right-thinking Indian. The second thing is you're taking a hammer to federalism in this country, because as it is, governors under this regime have become totally out of control. You look at any opposition state and see what they're doing in these states. Take my own state of Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory, the lieutenant governor there basically can veto anything that the elected chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir wants to do. Now, you said in your opening remarks that if the court is sending you to jail, what's the problem? I think what you should educate your viewers about is that the case where these kinds of things happen is things like the PMLA law, where the courts basically have to send somebody to jail because there is this, there are these twin tests. One is that is prima facie, is there a case against this person? Can you say within 30 days that there is not a case against this person? Of course, which judge is going to be able to do that? Then the second test is, if this person is, to be given bail, then you have to be sure that he's not going to make, or he or she is not going to commit another crime after they leave jail. Which judge is going to do that? So in both cases, you're going to be stuck in jail for a long time. Process is the punishment. And we have already seen there are almost 5,800 cases that the ED has brought since January 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2025. And there have been 8 convictions.
Okay.
And by the way, of the 197 cases that have been brought by the ED against political leaders, 98% are against the opposition.
Correct.
So, these guys can just send anybody to jail and say that, look, this is PMLA, what can we do?
Okay.
But, this cannot be allowed and this won't stand. I just want to make sure that you understand that.
Okay. Salman Soos, you've made your argument. I will let Sanju Verma respond to what you have said. Essentially, Sanju Verma, the opposition argument is this. This is a law that is designed to destabilize state governments and nothing else. This is not a reform. This is simply retribution.
Shreya, let me, for the benefit of your viewers, remind the Congress of its track record. 107 occasions the Congress used with rapid impunity Article 356, 356 was used with rapid impunity to dismiss duly elected state governments on more than 107 occasions by the Congress party. And guess what, Shreya? 45 of those 107 instances, it was Indira Gandhi alone who dismissed duly elected state governments using Article 356 as a personal fiefdom. So, the Congress has no locus standi to give lectures on morality to the BJP, but be that as it may, let me remind, there's a famous kahavat, यहाँ तहजीब भी बिकती है, यहाँ फरमान भी बिकते हैं, तुम अपना दाम तो बोलो, यहाँ ईमान भी बिकते हैं. कांग्रेस ने अपना राजनीतिक ईमान सदियों पहले बेच दिया है. कांग्रेस has institutionalized corruption. I say today Sonia Gandhi out on bail in National Herald scam, Rahul Gandhi out on bail in National Herald scam, P. Chidambaram out on bail in INX media scam. Then you have the likes of Robert Vadra. Please wait, Shreya. I listened to Mr. Sos. I have not yet completed my time. P. Chidambaram out on bail. You have Robert Vadra, the Jija Shri of the Congress party, out on bail in the Bikaner land grab scam. And you have Abhishek Banerjee, who's out on bail in the recruitment cash for job scam. You have, Bhupesh Baghel, the former Congress CM of Chhattisgarh, out on bail in the Mahadev betting app scam. His son, Chaitanya Baghel, is also out on bail in the money laundering scam. And the former Chief Minister of Rajasthan, a Congressee at that, Ashok Gehlot's son, Vaibhav Gehlot, is also out on bail in the cash for job scam. So my limited point is this. चोर की दाढ़ी में तिनका, और यहाँ चोर कौन है, किसकी दाढ़ी में तिनका है, ये जग जाहिर है. I would say that this bill should be welcomed by every sane-minded individual who aspires to be a politician or who is in politics, because for the longest time, Shreya, a lot of us have been hearing, अरे नेता तो वही बनते हैं जिन्हें और कोई काम नहीं है, बस पैसा बनाना है और भ्रष्टाचार करना है, तो सबसे आसान तरीका है कि नेता बन जाओ. So this is a way to cleanse politics and to cleanse that perception that politics is the last resort of a crook.
Okay, Salman, I think you want to say something. Go ahead, then I'll go to my other guests.
And of course, we have to take lectures from the BJP, which won so many elections using money from funds that were basically declared unconstitutional and illegal by the Supreme Court. They should be ashamed. They should not be giving lectures. And by the way, the Home Minister today,
the Home Minister today has called out the bluff of
Sanju Verma, here are the rules of engagement. Sanju Verma, you know the rules of engagement on the show. Salman Sos didn't interrupt you when you were speaking. Salman Sos didn't interrupt you when you were speaking, Sanju. Afford him the same courtesy, please. Go ahead. Salman.
Just one final point about the Home Minister. The Home Minister in Parliament today said that I resigned when I was arrested. First of all, he was arrested for some very serious charges, and he resigned. It's true. It was voluntary. The same presumption should apply to any politician.
Correct.
Because ultimately the law of the land says that there's a presumption of innocence. The Home Minister, the Prime Minister, they cannot take it away from Indian citizens, because ultimately the citizens are supreme. Ultimately, that's where the sovereignty lies.
Okay, here's the point, Salman Sos. Here's the point, Salman Sos. Amit Shah resigned, Arvind Kejriwal didn't, Senthil Balaji didn't. Which is why the government says they need to bring in this law. Advocate Anmol Panwar, just come in here. It is courtesy Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and Mr. Senthil Balaji that we have this new proposed law. Now, you may call it, you may call it a Gestapo move by a government that wants to make this country a police state, etc., etc. But on paper, as far as even optics are concerned, it was terrible to have Delhi's chief minister ruling from inside jail. Ultimately, he did resign, right? And ultimately, Atishi did become the chief minister of Delhi. My point is, why couldn't Arvind Kejriwal have resigned the day he was sent to jail? Hemant Soren did it. Arvind Kejriwal didn't. Was that the right thing to do? Yes, the Supreme Court said that, it is up to Mr. Kejriwal. There is no law that says he cannot be chief minister while he is in jail till he is convicted. But was it the right thing to do? Is this about constitutional morality?
Shreya ji, good evening. Shreya ji, the bill which has been introduced today in the Parliament is unconstitutional and undemocratic. It is a step from democracy to dictatorship and is a direct assault on the rights of the people of this country. What the BJP's real intent is to put the opposition leaders behind bar and disregard the law of the land. The law of the land says that a person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But they want the opposition leaders to step down from their position without trial, without proof, without conviction. What has happened recently? Satyendra Jainji was put behind bars in a false and fabricated case for 2 years. He was languishing behind bars for 2 years. But what happened after 2 years? The same investigative agency, CBI, they filed a closure report saying that we have no evidence. We have zero evidence. In Arvind Kejriwalji's case, what happened? It was the Honorable Supreme Court which said that there's no evidence against him. Even after thousands of recoveries, countless of raids, not a single penny was recovered from him. In Sanjay Singh's case, it was the same enforcement directorate which didn't even oppose his bail. The enforcement directorate didn't even oppose his bail. And I'll give you some facts. The reality is that in the last 10 years, ED has filed more than 6,000 cases, but only 15 resulted in conviction. In 95% of the cases, the accused have been acquitted. The accused has been acquitted. And 174 cases have been closed after filing closure report. So they want to operate from backdoor. When the people of a particular state rejects them, they give a mandate in favor of the opposition party, then they destabilize and topple democratically elected state governments by using all these kind of horse trading and these kind of illegal means. So now they want to legalize this horse trading. They want to legalize this means to topple the democratic elected state governments. That's why they are introducing this law. Otherwise, it will get struck down the moment it gets challenged before the Honorable Supreme Court.
No, the fact is that it has only been introduced. It has gone to a JPC. For a constitutional amendment, 1 minute, Sanju, for a constitutional amendment, the government needs to have 2/3 majority, which they don't have right now. So honestly, they are not in a position to push this law through till the opposition comes on board, and clearly the opposition is not coming on board, Sanju.
Thank you, Shreya. Shreya, I'm so glad. No, please. Now, Shreya, I need my time.
I will give you
my time because you did not allow me to heckle anybody. Yes, thank you, Anmol. Shreya, my limited point is this. I will read out 20 names. These are people from the Aam Aadmi Party who are out on bail. Out on bail means you're neither guilty nor innocent. You are still being tried. Arvind Kejriwal out on bail, Manish Sisodia out on bail, Sanjay Singh out on bail, Satyendra Jain out on bail, Amanatullah Khan out on bail, Somnath Bharti out on bail, Naresh Balian out on bail, Naresh Yadav out on bail, Sandeep Kumar out on bail, Sharad Chauhan out on bail, Prakash Jarwal out on bail, Jitendra Tomar out on bail, Akhilesh Tripathi out on bail, Dinesh Mohania out on bail, Vijay Singla out on bail, Manoj Kumar out on bail, Bhagu Wala out on bail, Raman Swamy out on bail, Gulab Singh Yadav out on bail, and Tahir Hussain out on bail. पूरी की पूरी आम आदमी पार्टी is out on bail. थोड़ी शर्म करो, यहाँ बैठकर भाषण देते हो.
नहीं तो
शर्म बची है या नहीं?
What are you saying, Sanju? Are you saying that the Aam Aadmi Party should be banned from contesting elections? What are you saying here?
If they are arrested and detained consecutively for 30 days and the punishment is an imprisonment of 5 years or more, then let the law of the land take its course.
Okay, that is not the law of the land as of now. We'll see when that becomes law of the land. Right now, it is not the law of the land. What is the problem? Give me a minute here. Sanjay Hegde, you're joining us on this conversation as well. What is the problem? It can easily be argued, are politicians above the law? What is the law for IAS officers or civil servants in this country? If for 48 hours you have been in custody, you are suspended. Hai na? If a chief minister is put behind bars, or if a mantri is put behind bars, or even if the prime minister is put behind bars, no one will, of course, ever arrest a prime minister, but if he's put behind bars, it's simply wrong, constitutionally, morally wrong for that person to be ruling a country, a city, or a state from behind bars. It's as simple as that. Any law can be misused. This law can also be misused, like the dowry law. But at least the intention is okay.
Firstly, let me just clarify one thing. We heard a whole list of people on bail. You see, if you are on bail, you can again be chief minister, prime minister, or anything. That's what the Constitution Amendment currently provides. It only knocks you out temporarily.
Correct.
When you are in custody. Now, what is right or what is wrong in the law? See, the point is that you should not be ruling a country from behind the bars. But it's also almost now a truth that not every case which is filed by the investigators ultimately stands up in court. There are cases and cases, and very often these cases are strategically timed. To my mind, if this ever becomes the law, the people most at risk will be popular chief ministers of opposition states who are about to head into an election. 6 months short of the election, if you arrest that particular person, ensure that he or she is behind bars for 30 days, you get 30 days to get their folks to walk over to the other side. You get 30 days in which you can change a whole lot of configurations. And you had an assumption there that, look, nobody is going to arrest the prime minister. I must also tell you that in this very country, with a 400-seat majority, the sitting prime minister, Rajiv Gandhi, almost got dismissed by President Ghani Zail Singh. We've had, as you know, we've had people occupying very high offices who get very high notions of themselves. So it is not inconceivable. And we have seen examples across the border where the judiciary then has worked with the other institution to get rid of a Nawaz Sharif or an Imran Khan. We are running this into grave, dangerous waters. But now speaking for myself, this will make policemen very important. This will make judges very important. And this will make a few lawyers very rich. To that extent, I'd like to see this happen.
Okay.
But I must warn you, it is very, very dangerous.
Okay. Sanju Verma, here's my question to you, and it stems from what the Home Minister has said on the floor of the House. He said, मुझे झूठे केस में कांग्रेस की सरकार ने फंसाया, मैं जेल गया, जेल जाने से पहले, he was the Home Minister of Gujarat, मैंने तो resign कर दिया था. The fact is, he says झूठे केस में फंसाया. The fact is that the Congress, according to him, झूठे केस में फंसाया. You know, if, given what he has said, then it's absolutely possible that what the opposition is saying is also true. कि एक दूसरे को झूठे केस में फंसाते हैं. And in this case, that is what the problem is. एक दूसरे को झूठे केस में फंसाइए, जेल में डालिए, and destabilize a state. So the fear of the opposition is actually not wrong, given the BJP's history.
Shreya, that's a very interesting question. I will repeat for the benefit of your viewers जो अमित शाह जी ने कहा कि मुझे जब अरेस्ट किया गया था तो नैतिकता के मूल्यों का हवाला देते हुए मैंने इस्तीफा दिया था. इसलिए केसी वेणुगोपाल जी यहाँ पर बैठकर नैतिकता और मोरालिटी मुझे मत समझाइए. But I will give you a small example, Shreya. You know, we all understand politics. The fact of the matter is, since 2002 to 2022 June, for 20 long years, there was a man called Narendra Modi who was maligned and discredited by the opposition. He's maligned even today, despite Supreme Court giving him a clean check in June 2022 about the Gujarat riots, saying there was no conspiracy by Narendra Modi. There's a man called Amit Shah who was accused of the Sohrabuddin Sheikh murder in 2005. 2016, after 11 years, Bombay High Court gave him a clean check, and this entire Darbari ecosystem went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court gave a clean check to Amit Shah, and yet they keep maligning Amit Shah.
But you're making the case for the opposition here.
We don't.
You're making the case for the opposition here.
We don't cry foul. Shreya, we don't cry foul. We actually abide by the law of the land. We don't start playing victim card. Congress victim card खेलती है बार-बार लगातार बेशर्मी से.
अच्छा.
बेसिक अंतर है कांग्रेस और बीजेपी के बीच.
ठीक है, Salman Soos, 20 seconds. You were nodding and smiling. 20 seconds.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. Sanju Verma has now today spoken on behalf of the opposition, so that's very good, Sanju. Thank you very much. But, you know, there is data out here that we should look at. We should look at what the facts are. Basically, since 2014, there have been about 95% of the raids that the ED has conducted in cases against politicians, they've been against the opposition.
Okay.
The ADR has reported that between 2014 and 2021, there were 173 candidates of the BJP who came from opposition ranks because they faced raids from the ED. So we already know that BJP employs scorched earth politics in India now. We already know that PMLA is an extremely draconian law. We know, I would ask Sanjay Hegde, in how many cases of PMLA has bail been granted within 30 days? Does anybody know? How many? Is there one case? Two? If you do not have that, that means you can basically take anybody. Okay. And by the way, remember Rahul Gandhi's disqualification case, Shreya.
Okay.
If you remember, the judgment that came was exactly for 2 years. The 2-year case, right? When he was, and that was the disqualification bar. So having somebody for 5 years is not that big a deal under PMLA.
Okay.
So you can get rid of anybody. So, and these people will try to do that. We will not allow them to do that.
Okay. In any case, they don't have the 2/3 majority to push through the constitutional amendment. So we'll see where this proposed bill goes. Is it a diversionary tactic? After a very long time, we are actually talking about something other than SIR. Was that the government's attempt in the first place? Perhaps yes, perhaps no. Thank you very much. We'll leave that for the viewers to decide. Sanju Verma, thank you very much. Salman Soos, good to have you on the show. Advocate Anmol Parmar, thank you. And thank you, Sanjay Hegde, for joining us. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break. There's more news on the other side.